Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next installment of Distance Learning Academy. It is me, Mr. Ahrens. You are you. I hope you are doing well wherever you are on this Thursday. Let's jump right into it. So, this is Distance Learning session number 12 already, and today I asked you all to listen to the end of The Most Dangerous Game, which I really hope you enjoyed that story. It's such a classic, and I find it enjoyable and suspenseful each time that I get to read it. So I hope that you enjoyed it as well. It's kind of messed up, right? Talking about murdering people for fun. Um, it's kind of crazy. So if you haven't listened to it already, go back and listen to the story. We've done it over the past 3 days, so you might need to catch up a little bit, but it's a really cool thing to listen to. It's on StudySync. So today we're going to be using the end of the story to work on this objective here. Students will analyze a character by asking, why is the character acting like that when they act out of character? And so what I mean by out of character is whenever a character does something that is you just don't expect them to do. Think about one of your friends, and you know them really well because they're your buddy, and they act a certain way all the time. But if out of the blue one day they started acting differently, or they said something and you were like, "What? That doesn't sound like you," you'd be curious as to what was going on. And so the same thing kind of happens to the characters in the stories that we read and the books that we read. Sometimes they act in a way that we don't expect them to, or is out of character, meaning out of the ordinary for them. And when that happens, we want to stop and ask ourselves, why? Why are they acting like that? So we're going to do that today with Rainsford in The Most Dangerous Game. And these are the steps that we're going to use. This is my Bitmoji asking why. I'm trying to get you guys to ask why as you are reading. So the first thing that we're going to do is notice when a character does something surprising or different from what we have come to expect from them. Rainsford tells us in the story that he's a hunter. We know he's cool and he's calm. He gets really weirded out, and he just doesn't like the idea of the general hunting people. He thinks that he's better than that. He said he could never hunt people. So if we see anything different, we're going to stop and ask ourselves, why is the character acting like that? Whoops. The answers to that question could give us some more clues about the plot, or even the theme of the story. And the theme is like the message of the story. So I actually find myself thinking about why characters are acting differently all the time when I read, because it really is a helpful strategy to understanding the things that we read, the books that we read, and it helps me to get enjoyment out of what we're reading. So let's take a look at how this works in The Most Dangerous Game. And here I am all the way at the end of the story. So I kind of recapped a little bit for you what had happened, but a quick summary is, so this General Zaroff tells Rainsford that he now likes to hunt people. I remember yesterday I was talking about how this kind of makes the general crazy. He makes him feel like a lunatic, or he's mad. And as soon as he tells Rainsford this, he also tells Rainsford, well, now I'm going to hunt you. And you have the choice to do that, or I can kill you. And Rainsford, of course, says, okay, give me a head start and you can hunt me, but if I win, then you have to let me go. And the whole time Rainsford is like, this guy is nuts. How could he hunt people? How could he kill people? That's so crazy. But then towards the end, and there's all this action here of the two chasing each other, hunting each other. So then we get to the end, and the last 4 paragraphs say this. The general sucked in his breath and smiled. I congratulate you, he said. You have won the game. Meaning Zaroff has beaten him. Rainsford has beaten him. Rainsford did not smile. I am still a beast at bay, he said in a low, hoarse voice. Get ready, General Zaroff. The general made one of his deepest bows. I see, he said. Splendid. One of us is to furnish a repast of the hounds, for the other will sleep in this very excellent bed. On guard, Rainsford. He had never slept in a better bed, Rainsford decided. Now, it can be a little unclear here at the end what actually happened, but Rainsford and Zaroff square off, and Rainsford actually ends up killing him. And in this last line, I kind of see this as bragging, like Rainsford is saying, like, haha, I killed him, and I have never slept in a better bed. And he like actually slept in Zaroff's bed, and he's like, I see, I killed him, and now I get to use all of his stuff. And so to me, that was different than what I had come to expect from Rainsford. Rainsford told me earlier in the story that he could never imagine killing another person, that is just not what he does. As a hunter, he kills animals, not people. He's not about that violence. So here's what I wrote in my note. I said, here I see Rainsford acting out of character for himself. I know he kills the general, which before he said he could never imagine killing a person. So here's my analysis. When I ask myself the question, why is he doing that? This is my answer. So maybe he's not as innocent as he claims to be. And maybe he is actually a murderer instead of a hunter. So this kind of changes my whole mind about Rainsford. Now I'm not sure I believe him earlier in the story when he says that he's not like this barbaric person that kills things for fun. Now I'm not sure if I do believe that. And I'm wondering if this whole story is about people killing animals and whether that's right and if that's any different than murder of a person. So now my mind is really trying to think and put this together with a theme or a message in the story. And that's exactly what characters acting differently is all about. When we see a character acting differently, it's a really good clue that the author is trying to tell us something. If we stop and we ask ourselves, why is the character acting like that? It could give us information about the plot, about the character, or even the theme of the story. So I really want to see you trying this today in your independent reading. Read for 25 minutes. If you notice a character acting differently in that amount of time, stop and notice it. Of course, keep noticing anything else about the character that I have taught you, the dialogue tags, the action. Apply today's strategy. So even if you don't see them acting differently today, you probably have seen them acting differently in another part of the story. So maybe you go back to that and you think about why is that happening. Then complete the ticket to leave, where I'm going to ask you to explain a moment where you saw the character acting differently. All right, that's all for today, and that is my last video for this week. I'll be doing a check-in on Friday on Zoom, so check the Google Classroom for the link for that, and I hope you guys stay well, stay inside, and I will talk with you soon. Bye-bye.